What's up, YouTube? It's the Dawn, where shit gets real. And today, I'm just gonna talk. Well, no, I'm not gonna just talk. I'm on a lot of forums. I watch a lot of videos. Um, I get a lot of people's, opinions, perspectives, techniques. Like the one I showed you guys with the sub tank. Um, you know, I came up with the idea of modifying the bottom. I got the idea of putting a hole in it from somebody else. But I'm always trying to learn new things, okay? And I guess my biggest gripe today is now tanks. With temperature control, starting to make a scene, we're looking for good tanks to use, nickel in because it works great in tanks. And, not only great in tanks, but we're always looking for, a great tank. I know I'm always looking for a great tank, especially when I'm driving. I'm always moving around, and sometimes I don't want to be, dripping. Sometimes I wear suits, and I don't want to be dripping. I just want to put it in my pocket, take a puff. So I am digging tanks. I like tanks. I like the Goliath, the Goblin, the Limo, the sub tank, the Delta. I mean, I like tanks. I love tanks that I have to rebuild in. I'm not too crazy about the sub-ohm tanks, but some of them are good. I'm really, at first I was really digging the Delta. Now I'm kind of liking the sub tank. Those two have, they've gone through the test of time, and I still use them to this day. But I see a lot of people having problems with wicking. And I just want to, I'm going to show you guys something, and it's not going to be a pancake. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel, but what I'm trying to do is try to, you have to evolve with time. And here's my point. When I first started using tanks, the most popular tank out there was a K-Fun. Let's just be open, honest, it was a K-Fun. And the way the design of the K-Fun was, you had to wick it a certain way. Now let me say this too. At the time that the K-Fun was out or became very popular, there wasn't a lot of max VG juice. I'm just going to keep it real. I mean, if you're going to say, oh yeah, last year around this time or not, last December or last November, not 2014. I'm talking about like early 2014, late 2013. There wasn't a lot of max VG juice. So when we had our K-Funs, it was a lot of 50-50 juice, 60-40 juice, 40-60 juice, either way. The juice, in the K-Fun, that juice would wick fine. And you could wick your wicks a certain way. Now what I'm noticing is a lot of the people that, were around during that time, or the people that's been vaping a while, they are so stuck in that K-Fun wicking style that they don't realize that things have changed. It's changed. So you have to go about wicking in a different way. And I'm going to show you this, guys, up close. But basically, in short, I see a lot of people, when they make their wicks on whatever it is. I'm gonna go on a close up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do it like right now. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm not even gonna try to show you up close. I'm just gonna go up close and show you guys. So yeah, let's just do that right now. Okay, right now. Okay, we up close. Let me take it to it real quick. All right. So we're up close, and I guess this first example I'm gonna be using is this mic a little closer. Is a sub tank. Okay, so here's a sub tank, and I cut cotton on, in my coil, and I'm gonna show you the right way and what I believe is the wrong way. Okay, so first let's do the wrong way. So here's the wrong way. The cotton, you know what? That's too extreme of the wrong way. Let me trim this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Here's what I believe to be the wrong way. So you have cotton, and guess what? It comes down and it touches the ledge. Okay? So when you screw the screw thing on there, you try to separate it from this little thing, this little groove, and so that it can wick right. Okay? You know, I've gone as far as to cut little V's in here to cut it out. But still, this cotton, guys, is too long. You know, you got to remember, this is not 50-50 juice anymore. You guys are vaping at higher wattages, and you're vaping thicker e-liquid, okay? So this is the wrong way. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I believe is the right way. Here's the other side of it. Now, when I push this down, as you can see, it does not touch the bottom. That's what you want. You don't want your cotton touching the bottom of that deck. Okay? So that, and since when the e-liquid comes up this channel, this wick is going to sit in a puddle of juice. If the puddle tries to, you know, if it's not going to raise this high to where it's going to start leaking, this is still covering that area, and it'll allow your e-liquid to come up that channel, and it will saturate your wicks. Stop trying to do it the way we used to do with our K-funds and have that wick just touching the deck, because the e-liquid back then was so much thinner and it would, you know, it could keep up. Now we're vaping, you know, this coil right here at 50 watts or 45 watts or 35 watts. Back then, we was only vaping the K-fund at 16, 10, 12, 8 watts. You know, we need to allow more juice to our wicks. Okay, so this is the sub-tank. Now here's another one that a lot of people are having problems with. The Limo. It's the same deal, guys. Okay, so here is the way that everybody's doing it. Well, that's too extreme. Let me cut it down some more. Hope I don't cut too much of it off. Yeah, there you go. I'm still seeing people do it like this. Okay, they cut it down to where it's just touching that deck, and they say, "Oh, that's, you know, that's perfect. That's the way it should be done." No, that's too much. It's too much cotton in there. It's not going to allow this wick to saturate quick enough for this coil. This coil, if you're building 0.5, 0.6, even 0.8, if you're, you know, vaping higher wattages, it's not going to have enough time. It's too much cotton. The cotton is too long. Okay, now this side, this is perfect. You can still see some of that peak insulator. You know, it's a little angle, but that right there, that's perfect. Your wicks sit in a puddle of juice. Okay. Now another thing, guys, stop. Make your coils at least 3 millimeters in, you know, girth, because if you do, you know, a 2 millimeter coil, that, and you're vaping at high wattages, the cotton is not going to hold enough e-liquid to. It's not going to hold enough e-liquid to give you more than one hit. You're demanding too much of the wicking. So most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when you're using these, you know, tank style devices, you're not using them on a Mac. You're using them most of the time. You're using them on a regulated box. So give your coil some girth. The cotton holds way more juice, and it gives the the wicking enough time to resaturate itself for you to take the next hit. You know, with a 3 or 3.5 millimeter coil, you could take 2 or 3 hits with the maybe more, with no liquid in the tank, because the cotton is holding that much liquid. But when you start making them really tiny coils, like wrapping it around something like this, that's like 2 millimeters, it's too small. It's too small. Even in this K-fund, this is a 3 millimeter coil. Okay, so let me show you in the K-fund. Again, this right here It's too much cotton. It's too much. Let the e-liquid have some room to come in there and make a little puddle. Okay, so this right here on the other side, I believe this is right. See that? I guess that's a better example. See how there's space? When I push that down, it's space. It's never going to touch that ledge. And you know, on the K-Fun, well, this is the K-Fun 4, it comes through those holes. Okay? Comes through those holes, and you want this right here to be sitting above the deck. If I can grab this right, and this is fluffed up in the back. But yeah, you want it sitting above. I'm trying to do this behind the camera. But you don't want it all the way down on the deck. Okay? So, I see a lot of guys, you know, this tank sucks, it doesn't wick properly, blah, 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 blah. Dude, you gotta, or ma'am, you gotta start rethinking this wicking. You know, you gotta start rethinking the wicking. This limo, for instance, I haven't had any problems with this thing wicking. None. Now, I use the thickest e-juice I can find, and I have no problem with it wicking. I use temp mode, I use Kanthal mode. I've never had a problem with it wicking. Never. And I always use my wicking like this. So guys, just try it out. You know, just try it out. Make your cotton, make it sit in there like hot waters. If you want to name this damn wicking method, call it hot waters. You know, let your wick sit in a puddle of juice. All right, so let me go back up top and fill one of these bad boys up and start vaping on it. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. All right. Wow. Since I got that out the way, guys, just give it a try. Before you say this tank sucks, before you say, you know, it don't wick right, give that a shot. Just give it a shot. I know a lot of you guys are from, you know, you've been vaping a while and you're getting these tanks and you're still used to, you know, wicking the way we used to wick our K-Funs. You know, and it was a learning curve for myself as well. And I've learned that as long as I'm not making that cotton too long, I never have a problem with wicking. I never have a problem with wicking. Now, you know, I know I made a video on how to mod your sub tank mini RBA section. Now that RBA section, now those channels were way too small, way too small. But some of these other ones that's coming out like the Limo, you know, their channels are fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not the biggest, but it's enough. It's enough area to get, you know, liquid up in there. It's enough. It's enough. Now, like I said, give it a try. Just try it. Just try it. Another thing I want to talk about. I guess you know what, I'll say that for another video. But as some of you know, I'm in the Metro DC area. I grew up in Baltimore. You know, the time I was a kid. You know, born. You know, I spent some time up in Pittsburgh as well. But you know, my hometown is Baltimore, and right now Baltimore it's crazy. It's crazy. My mom still lives in Baltimore, but fortunately, my mom, she just got on a plane today. She went to Texas to see my daughter, so I don't have to worry about her anymore. But guys, you know, if you guys are going to go out and protest and, you know, do whatever you're going to do, just do it peacefully. Because, you know, if you go out there and act like a clown, guess what? They're going to treat you like a clown. Don't act like a clown. You know, go out there if you want to hold a sign up, you know, you want to yell, you want to scream, fine. You know, that's not acting like a clown. Acting like a clown is trying to break into a store, throwing rocks at the law, you know, throwing bottles at the law, you know, starting fires. You know, it's stupid. It's just stupid. And, you know, a lot of those people, they don't understand. They don't value anything because they don't have anything. So they don't know, you know, a lot of them that burnt cars or threw rocks or busted windows, they don't have a car. So they don't know how hard it is to, purchase a car, maintain a car, when it breaks, fix. They don't understand that value. They don't understand, you know, owning a home. They don't know what a mortgage is. They don't know what MIP is. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know what interest rates is. They don't know. You know, they're from a different world. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys that's down in Baltimore are not watching this, but you might know somebody because you know, they're marching everywhere. They're marching in New York, Detroit, Michigan. They're marching all over the place, or protesting all over the place. So, you know, I just want to say, you know, just act like you got some sense. Some of you guys may not have sense, but just act like it, because you know what? The media is just going to focus on the craziness, and we don't need that. Me as a black man, you as a white man, or you as a white woman or yellow woman, whatever color you are, you don't need it. We're all humans. You don't need that. You know, I know there's some problems in each inner city in America, but you know, acting a fool is not the way to solve it. It's just not. It's just not. And I understand the frustration because I've been there, did that, lived that life. I understand that frustration, and you know, it's not gonna. It's trust me. Next year, it's not going to be that much better. It's going to take time. I mean, time. It's going to take at least another generation of people before it gets better. It's just not going to get better overnight. So you guys need to understand that. You know, the media should be the media. You know, they're doing what they're doing. So I done rambled on about that. This is a ramble video, but I guess I should start keeping it vape related. Let me take a toke. Okay, since I got this M80 in my hand right now. Okay, the strange thing about this M80 is, I watched this video, and the guy was pretty bold to come out and do it. He said it does temp control in Kanthal mode. Now, I did notice that if I left it in temp and I put Kanthal in there, it was still fire. You know, the way he explained it, he's got a video up. I'll post a link to the video. The way he's explaining it is, it doesn't, you know, I don't understand all this stuff. And, you know, half the people that's making videos don't understand all this stuff. And they trying to make it seem like they understand. I'm going to tell you straight up, this shit is like confusing. The only thing I really know is, like, when the SX or the DNA, it knows when the wire is wet. Okay? This right here, it doesn't know when the wire is wet. But it knows. It knows when the wires. You know, I'm gonna put that video up there because I'm not even gonna try to explain it. But I know. Let me put this thing in temperature control mode. Okay. Before I do that, right now I'm vaping. I'm vaping at 50 watts on a what is that? 0.47 ohm coil, and when I hit the button, it's 4.9 volts. Okay, so it's a single coil, and it's Kanthal. It's Kanthal. It's touching coil and everything. Okay, so let me put this thing in temp mode. 1, 2, 3. It's in temp mode. Let me see what the temperature is. Let me take it down to 5. Okay, so I'm in temp mode, and I'm gonna leave it at 50 watts. This thing would focus. Okay, it's at 50 watts. It's at 530 degrees. Okay, so let me hit the button while it's up here. Okay, it ain't focusing. Let's see. Focus. All right, there we go. Okay, as you can see, it's not quite reaching the 500 degrees. It's reaching, well, yeah, it reached 424. It's not reaching the quite 50 watts. But, let me take a toke. It's not burning the wick. Now, I've done it like this, and I've, you know, got it down to where the coil was almost dry. Eventually, you know, I kept hitting it. Eventually, it started burning. But it started backing down the wattages. Like right now, I think the max it's going to is like 42 watts. As the coil got drier, you know, that wattage was coming down. You know, 35, 30, 27, 25. And then it started, I could tell that the coil was dry. Then it started to burn. So the way he's explaining it, that it can sense when how hot the coil is, and it pulses it at that rate. I'm gonna let you guys watch that. But I just thought it was interesting. I can't explain it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I understand what he was saying. But I do notice that you can vape it in temp mode with Kanthal. And I don't want to say it works, and I don't want to say it doesn't work. It's doing something. It's doing something. And like I always say, this thing for $50, it's a win. Throw the temp out the window. Throw it out the window. Throw it down the street. Never even think about it anymore. You get an 80-watt box for $50. I haven't had any problems with this one. Now I know Smok is like fucking Hyundai. When Hyundais first came out, people were running from them damn things because they had so many problems. And Smok is the same way. When they first started making shit, they were all janky, and even their newer ones like the M36 or whatever, they got crazy numbers. M32, M65, M50. They've been having problems. With this one, I've been hearing some people having problems with the 510. Now I notice when I'm putting something with a longer 510 connection, I have to push it down to get the groove started because the 510 is protruding so much. But other than that, I haven't had any problems with it. None. I done dropped it a couple times. I done wrapped it in this pimpalicious snakeskin. See that? Look at that shit. That's real pimp. Oh, that's pimp. Even got it on the bottom. That's pimpish. Only thing I need now is like one of them brim hats. Focus, goddammit. I need one of them brim hats with a feather in it. I'll be pimped out. But I haven't had any problems with this M80, and the battery life is great. It seems to be giving me the whole 80 watts. I don't have one of those electronic devices, but I'm digging it for $50. It's $50. Now I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the iStick because it goes up to 10 volts." Now I don't own an iStick. Don't own an iStick. But a lot of people have had a lot of problems with those iSticks. But I guess that's with any device. You're mass producing all these devices. Quality control. We can say it's great, but every device is going to have its problem. Every device. I don't think there's no device out there that it's just problem free. But I've been really digging this. I mean, for 80-watt device, throw the temp mode out the window. $50, 49. I seen the lowest like $45. That's a good deal. Built-in battery. You don't have to buy a battery. Just plug it up. It's got pass-through. You can use mech mode, wattage mode, or the crazy temp mode. I think it's a great bang for the buck. Let me take another toke. I think I did enough rambling for today. I did not plan on doing a ramble video today. I planned on doing something else. I'm still kind of under the weather, but I felt as though I need to start telling people about this wicking because I'm just seeing it. I'm just seeing it all over the place. Oh, it's not wicking right. I'm telling you, with this Limo, or Limo, whatever you want to call it, when I have it in Kanthal mode or temp mode, the way I wick it, every 2 hits, I'm seeing it bubble. I'm seeing it bubble. It's wicking. It's wicking. It's wicking. Now, another thing to remember, with this Limo, with this chamber so close to the glass, it's really close, but it still leaves enough room down there for it to wick. This chamber being so close to the glass, the metal part heats up, and in turn heats your e-liquid, right? When you heat e-liquid, it thins it out a bit, making it easier to wick. I don't know if that was part of the design thing, but I noticed that it wicks fine. It wicks fine for me, and I have 2 of them. I don't have 6, I don't have 10, I have 2. And out of the 2 that I had no problems wicking. The only one that I really felt like I had to modify was the Sub-Tank Mini RBA section because the channels are just so so small. I mean, I guess you could put these two channels together to equal one of these channels on this Limo from the Subtank. And also the Delta 2. Now, I was trying to build crazy low in that Delta 2, so I altered the chamber in theirs too. But even with the Delta 2, if you cut those wicks short, like they sit in that puddle of water, you should have no problems. No problems. Let me wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all you guys' support. I appreciate the comments, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. Trust me, I try to respond to each and every one. If I can't, if you see me and I haven't responded to your comment, it's because I can't. It's either report or block. I don't know. I don't know how that shit works, but I try to respond to all the comments when I get free time. Unless you say something real stupid, you know. A couple people said some stupid shit. I don't leave that shit alone. But if you ask me a question or what I feel about something, I'm gonna tell you. Now listen, I'm only giving you my opinion. I'm a consumer at this point, and I'm 99.9% of the shit that I buy with my own money. And let me tell you this: when you buy something with your own money, I want it to work good. So I don't never buy nothing saying, oh, you know what, I'm buying this. I know it's gonna be chinky, and I'm gonna bash it. If I buy something and it tastes horrible, I'm gonna tell you it tastes horrible. I bought it with my own money. I'm not puppetized. I'm not, waiting for the next item for you to send me the next item. I'm not at that point. But even if I do get to that point, I'm still gonna keep it real. You know what? I'm blessed. I can afford to buy shit. If you send me something and it's janky, it's gonna be janky. It's just the way it is. But anyway, until the next time, if you know somebody that's on the stinkies, and you have some old equipment, give them your old equipment, explain to them the battery safety, explain to them how it works, cut down the airflow a little bit because they're used to a tight draw, and tell them, hey, if you don't like it, give it back to me in about a week, and I'll give it to somebody else. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. So, again, thank you for watching, and until the next time, pay it forward. Yeah, on this Subtank, how the fuck you don't know? So Obama called them thugs, right? And everybody's up in arms because he called them a thug. What the fuck? Really? A thug? I mean, why are you up in arms because Obama said the people who run around acting a fool are thugs? What the fuck? Let me look up a thug. So I looked up the word thug, and it says a violent person, especially a criminal. What the fuck? They're fucking thugs. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm a black man, and I'm from the hood. I don't get it. What's the big deal with thug? Damn. Part 2 is a member of a religious organization of robbers and assassins in India. That's the historical, definition. But, the modern definition is a hooligan, vandal, hoodlum, gangster, villain, criminal, tough, bruiser, hard man, hired gun, goon, heavy, hood. The fuck? Them people that ran up in them fucking stores were thugs. They hoodlums, they assholes, whatever you want to call them. Why the fucking media making a big? Why the fuck people making a big? People acted like they acted like a thug. The shoe fit. Where is it? Wear it. Wear it. Wear it. And they were wearing that shit like Jordan's Duncan. They were wearing that shit. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm going elementary on them. There you go. That's a perfect picture. See the yellow? That's your liquid. See that other thing? Let me get a pointer. This right here is your cotton. This right here is your puddle of liquid that your cotton sits in. And there you go. It's easy as elementary. Cotton stay wet.